Hey, strangers. It's been a long time since I've said that.
I know, right?
Hey, strangers. Welcome to another season of the Strange Sessions, season 5.
Crazy town.
Welcome to a new year, 2021.
Oh, it's got to be better than 2020.
It's already shaping up to be kind of a turd burger. It's not really shaping up to be that great.
True.
I am Kurt. I feel like I have to introduce myself brand new again.
It's true, I guess.
My name is Kurt. I am one of the co-hosts for our podcast, and with me is the lovely
Krista.
I'm looking
like,
at her
is
like,
he gonna say it? Am I gonna say it? Wow, it's like we've never done this before.
I know. I feel like, but it has
I'm
been
all like
a
nervous
while.
and giddy.
It's
It has
seriously been a long time.
A couple of months almost, right?
Yeah,
Has it?
yeah. Beginning of December.
So like a month and a half.
Yeah,
It feels like 5 months
it does.
to our listeners.
It does. Our podcast is called The Strange Sessions. We talk about strange stuff, whatever we want to talk about, and that's it.
End of show.
End of show. Stay strange.
Thanks for joining. Yeah, if you are new, and you don't want to sit through this opening banter, the titillating 20, as we like to call it, check your show notes on your podcasting app, whatever you're using. Kurt will post the timestamp of when we actually start talking about something other than food and like the weather, which we will probably get to.
Yes, exactly. And totally blanked on what I was going to say. This is going to be kind of a pre-season show. We're not going to really delve too much into a topic. We're going to do some stories about our next topic.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of stuff to do. We got a lot of packages to open yet. We have some emails we want to read. We have some voicemails we want to play, and it would have been just too much for one episode. So this is going to kind of be a hors d'oeuvre, an appetizer to whet your appetite for.
The crudité.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like raw vegetables and dip and stuff like that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just to get your feet wet for the upcoming season.
Dip your toes in.
Dip your toes in. So we want to give shout outs to our newest strangers since we last left, and I have a bunch of them.
Take a deep breath.
We're going to start off with the first one, and that is, I've mentioned her on here, that is Beth Hovanek. She is an artist, and she is passionate about the same thing that I am, armchair treasure hunts. That is how we met, because she created a bunch of her own armchair treasure hunts, which I got but didn't solve. But the interesting thing, there's a couple interesting things. Beth, since she joined the Strangers, has been on the news, and she was in Newsweek magazine.
So cool.
It is so cool. There is a armchair treasure hunt going on right now called The Great U.S. Treasure Hunt. It's a Kindle book that you can download off Amazon, and I think there's 4 chapters, and in each chapter will lead you somewhere in the United States where the author hid something somewhere, and if you find that, you get $10,000.
Dang.
And Beth was the first person to find something.
So 10,000 per chapter, basically?
Yes.
Wow.
So Beth was the first one to
Wow.
solve one.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
so
money
cool
aside,
because
that's just
I'm
so
on
cool.
I bought it, and I'm on the Facebook group, and all of a sudden I'm seeing somebody won, and then I see it's Beth, and I'm like, yay!
That's amazing.
Because I adore Beth. She's just such a great person, and she also. We're not going to unveil it yet, but she also painted something for us to use for a T-shirt, or it's going to be perfect on a T-shirt. So we're kind of looking at a T-shirt. So we're not going to unveil it yet, but she did paint something for us for a design, which is awesome.
It's been sitting on the table down here
Yes.
for like a month and a half.
So yeah, when Beth won that, it was nuts. I mean, I would see stories on the news, local news about it, and I would see like in Newsweek. And yeah, so she won $10,000.
Is she from Wisconsin?
No.
Oh, okay.
She's from, I believe, by Philadelphia, somewhere in that area.
Okay.
But I chat with her quite a bit, but she started listening to the podcast, and she loves it, and she listens to it while she's painting.
Oh,
So
that's
she's
sweet.
kind of become like a little bit of a part of the podcast
Yeah.
with some of this stuff. And there was talk about her and I doing something maybe for like our 100th episode.
Okay.
Maybe creating an armchair treasure hunt for the strangers.
That would be
Yeah.
so amazing.
Yes. So we've talked about that. We're going to see what happens.
We have to come up with some prizes then.
Yes. We'll work on that.
Okay.
We'll give them our leftover Necco wafers and
Mary Jane's.
and Good and
And
Plenty's
Good and
that Krista
Plenty's.
has kind of come around
Apparently,
to really liking.
my palate has changed since I was a kid. Because, yeah, they've grown on me just a little. Every time I come down here, I kind of grab a couple, and I'm like, hey, these aren't so bad.
No, they're still not good. So the rest of our shout-outs to Beth Hovanek, of course. Hi, Beth. Berlin Schelling, Alex Wong, Katie Granger, Corey Lynn Keith, Dustin Brown, Mike Galloway, Sheila White Eagle, Cole Vernon, Valerie Delvoye, Casey Hansen, Ella Butcher, and I'm probably butchering these names, Chris Howe,
Ba-dum-bum.
Serenade Williams.
Serenade?
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yep. Kevin Kane, Nash Emily, Amy Newby, Mike Iribe, Aribe, Lacey John Tara Madden, which I'm guessing are two people, Beeth Feivelstad Brudel. I think she's in Germany.
I think so,
because we've
too.
gotten messages from her. Taylor Schlew, that is my cousin's son that
Okay.
listens to the podcast. Kenny G, which is not the smooth jazz artist, I don't think.
Okay.
Mike Doherty, Nancy Train.
Mike Doherty.
Yeah, it
Not
wasn't
M. Doherty from Soul Coughing.
Okay, I thought that
That'd be
sounded
amazing.
familiar. Nancy Train, Lisa Britton Jacoby, Marzanne Meyer Soden, Chris Flores Redoubt. Is he the one that is
He's
in
the one
Peru?
from Peru. I think he
I
just
think that's our
joined
first
Instagram
Peruvian.
and Facebook.
Yes.
Sent us a nice message.
And I want to give a shout out to a very good friend of mine, Dominique Bustos, who I have been friends with for years, since like an internet thing, like Melissa or like Stephanie in Texas, like somebody that I've known forever. And she's not on Facebook. She's on Instagram, but she just started listening to it, and she is addicted to it. And she's always posting really sweet stuff about us in her stories.
Nice.
So it's so cool. So Dominique, so thankful that you're listening. So yeah,
That's a long list of people.
Those are the newest strangers, and a lot of people that start the show like mid-season tell me that they go back and start at the beginning of the season. So Krista and I kind of want to just say who we are. Mm-hmm. Just to introduce ourselves, I'm Kurt. We both live in Wisconsin, which you can probably tell from the accents.
Just going to have to deal with the accent.
Exactly. And I've lived here all my life. And I'm trying to think of something
Same.
interesting about myself, but there's not. I love geocaching.
Well, why don't you talk about how and why we are friends?
It was destined to happen. That's
Yeah,
how.
obviously.
But we are both ghost hunters. And I was a member of a ghost hunting group when you and I not hooked up, but when you and I became friends.
It was HPI.
It was still HPI.
Yep.
Okay, I was a member of another ghost hunting group, and Krista was interested in joining a group. So we met you in Sheboygan, I believe, at Perkins.
I think it was Manitowoc.
No,
Was it?
I'm almost positive it was the
Sheboygan?
Sheboygan Perkins.
It could be.
But
This is like almost 15 years ago,
Yes.
I think. So
Yeah.
it's a little
so
fuzzy.
you met us at Perkins. You didn't want to meet us somewhere at somebody's house because you didn't know if we
I
were
dragged
gonna,
my husband. We
if
weren't
we were
married
gonna
yet.
Kill you
Yep.
or whatever.
I dragged my boyfriend with me at the time.
Oh,
Oh, that's
he was just
so
your boy. Jim was just your
weird.
boyfriend at the time?
Yes.
That's so weird.
That's so weird.
But yeah, then you met us at Perkins, and we some of us bonded like
Immediately.
instantly. Yeah, like
Rhonda
you,
and
me,
Mark.
Rhonda, Mark,
Uh-huh.
Barry.
Yes.
Yeah, it was just like super tight.
Instant. Yep.
Yeah, and then we ended up kind of breaking away from that group and starting our own called Heartland Paranormal Investigations. And we're still.
I think it was Heartland Paranormal Investigations.
I don't think so because I want to say.
Because like Katie or none of those
Were
people
there?
were there. No,
Maybe it was.
I think it was just HPI.
Maybe we had just broken away from the other group
I
and
think
started
so.
this one and wanted more people to join.
Yeah, and I just was very lucky.
Yeah,
that you were
and
willing.
we were very lucky. We
And
were
I-
very lucky, and
yeah.
we just clicked like right away.
Yeah, we were thick as thieves from the beginning.
And while we're not technically disbanded, we don't really do investigations a whole lot anymore.
We're still thick as thieves, though.
We're still thick as thieves, though.
We miss Barry. We haven't seen her in a few years now.
No, we need to get
and
Rhonda and Mark back on the show, and
Yeah.
Brittany and Devin that we keep saying every season, and we never have them on.
Season 5, it's
But
all
with this
happening.
COVID stuff, it's just
I know,
hard.
it's been kind of crazy.
So yeah, and that's
How we know each other.
how we know each other. We've done a lot of investigations together. You're going to hear
Yeah.
us talk about Elsing Secondhand Shop in Stoughton, Wisconsin
Mm-hmm.
a lot because we've had a lot of crazy experiences there.
Yep.
The breathing in Krista's ear.
Yep.
And all that stuff. So that is how we know each other. And Krista and Jeff and Joe were doing a podcast called Paranormal Palaver, and I was on it as a guest.
And then one day I was just like, you know what, Kurt? We could do this.
Let's try doing it.
And Kurt was like, I don't think I can do that.
No. Kurt drank a lot of beer the first couple episodes because I was nervous.
Yeah, and here we are, season 5.
I know.
With,
I know.
I don't know, man. Hundreds and hundreds of people listening, and
I was so
still
nervous.
Can't believe
and
it.
those episodes are missing.
I got to get in touch with Joe's brother Nick and just talk through.
They're still on
the
YouTube.
website
Like the old ones are still on YouTube.
And I think you can go right to our website and
somebody
find
said they
them
think
too.
they're on Spotify.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
And Spotify is new.
Yep.
We're new to Spotify.
Oh, and I'd also like to give a shout out to any of my students that are listening from school.
Hey, from
And
Mr. K.
Some of them do, because Bella, she's one of my students. We were talking about the podcast in class, and then somebody said, well, where do you record it? And I said, well, it was at a school. And then Bella said, now they record it in Krista's basement.
Aww.
So I'm like, wow, you really do listen to it.
That's cute.
Yep.
I love it.
So yeah, that's a little bit about us.
Yeah.
And we started doing this podcast thinking nobody was going to listen except our friends and family, and we would have to beg them to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And one by one, people started joining our group that we didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And
we text each other. Do you know this person? No, I don't know
it
who
was
this
so
is.
funny because it's like,
someone we don't know.
is that a scammer? Is that someone's
Right,
trying
are
to
they trying to
scam?
sell us
Are they trying to
something?
sell us something? And then as people, Chris and I are still blown away that people
Yeah.
listen to this.
We are.
And we were talking before we started recording that we think there's a lot of wrong assumptions about. We don't run the tightest ship here. We really don't.
We forget to do stuff
Yeah.
every once in a while,
And
like
it's always
taste tests.
it's always cute when somebody message or like writes me a message and I email them back right away, or you message them back and they're like, "Oh my god, you actually messaged me back."
Yeah.
Or
I follow someone back on Instagram and they're like, "Oh my god," and they put it in their stories,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Dude, I'm just like a normal person."
Yeah,
like
like
I'm
we're spending our
so
time
boring.
off, like doing
Signing autographs.
signing autographs. No, we are a very
No.
rinky-dink little podcast.
We're a
but,
small town show.
But there's something about it that has connected with people,
Yeah.
and we love that, and we love you guys for listening. We really, really do.
Yeah. So if you're new, welcome. Enjoy the ride. Welcome to our
So many people
weird
say
little
at
family.
first they skip the titillating 20 because they don't care, but then that becomes like their favorite part of the show, where we're just
Exactly.
babbling like we're doing right now.
Yep. Even episodes where it's the whole episode, like our Christmas episode,
Yes.
was just us talking the
Yeah,
whole
and people
time.
seem to really like that.
Yeah.
So we're glad, because this is going to be another one just like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a couple voicemails to play
Yeah.
from listeners. We have 2 of them that we got since we stopped recording. So, Krista, are they all loaded up? The engineers got that all loaded up and ready to go.
The intern worked on it
The
for
intern,
me.
we're by the 10th season, we'll have an intern.
Sure.
It'll be good.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Hey, Kurt and Krista. Just wanted to say hi and wish you guys a happy holidays, Merry Christmas. I was just listening to one of your episodes with my sister. We started off listening to the one with the personal paranormal experiences where the guy crawled out of Kurt's bathroom, because that one just creeps me out all the time. And then we switched to EVPs, but we had a bunch of synchronicities while we were listening to it. It was just kind of weird. She was playing with this jar of thinking putty that I have, and she had just finished like indenting a cross in the thinking putty when we listened to the EVP where it sounded like somebody said Jesus Christ. And then there was a couple other times where Carrie would comment on something. Carrie's my sister. She would comment on something like, "Why is she always in the shower?" And like a split second later, Krista echoed it in the podcast. It was just super creepy, but really funny at the same time. I kind of wish we would have listened to the Synchronicities episode and seen a lot of 11/11 since that one popped up. But looking forward to listening to the new episode, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Thanks for being awesome. Stay strange.
Wow.
That was so sweet. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
I love hearing about people's synchronicities.
I do
It's
too.
just so
like,
cool.
like if you're a new listener, we love synchronicity
We do.
on this podcast. We
Yeah.
love talking about synchronicities.
Our strangers are really into synchronicities. I
So
think
many
they've started
listeners-
having them since we
So
talk
many listeners were
about
creeped
it.
out by my story about the old
Well,
guy with the
it's-
bent back crawling out of my bathroom.
Super creepy.
So
If you're not creeped out by that, something's wrong with
yeah,
you.
exactly. So thank you so much for that sweet voicemail.
Yeah. You're
And
awesome.
We also have another one.
Okay. Should we dive in?
Let's do it.
Hey, this message is for Kurt and Krista. Hi, guys. My name is Sebastian, And my girlfriend Stephanie and I have been listening to you guys for about a year. Just wanted to say hi and wish you guys a happy new year. We've been listening to you quite a bit, actually. Every time we go hiking, we put you guys on, and you get us through the 2-hour hike. So just wanted to say thanks for all the entertainment, and we'll miss you guys during your break. So hopefully you'll be back real soon. So anyway, thanks again. Bye.
Come on.
Thank you so much, Sebastian.
I'm just tickled that we have voicemails.
It's just, it's weird to me to think of people
I
listening
know.
to us like when they're out hiking and doing stuff, and
Yeah.
I get freaked out if I think about it, so I can't think about it.
I know, it's
think
just crazy.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I try not. Yeah, don't think too hard about
No.
it. It's so weird because we do not try to get our podcast out there. We do nothing to advertise.
We
our
really
show.
don't.
Nothing.
We really don't.
I barely even post on social media, but somehow word of mouth.
Yeah.
Brad Medeiros, thank you so much.
Yes.
We know you're mentioning us on your
And
show.
Brian
we've
Young.
and Brian as well. We know you've both brought us listeners, and that's really amazing. And
Bridget,
word of mouth.
So many of our listeners have
Yes.
started podcasts. We always say that if they're like, "Oh God, if Kurt and Krista can do a podcast, anybody can."
Anybody can do it. No, but I feel like we're just like this word of mouth thing. We're like an underground show. It's
Yeah.
just because we're too lazy to advertise, but
Or scared.
Also, we
Like,
don't.
I also
Yeah,
don't want to.
I don't want to get on the level of like Joe Rogan or something
No.
like that. That's
No.
terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying.
That
but
gives me diarrhea just thinking about it. I would be such a nervous wreck. Like seriously.
I just have to. At the mention of
That's our
Kurt having
Bigfoot
diarrhea.
speaker.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
just think it's awesome that so many of our listeners have started their own podcast.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Yeah.
And awesome that people go on 2-hour hikes and
Listen to us.
bring us along as company.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And we'll get into that one. I just curded myself. We'll get into that when we get to read some of our later emails, other stuff like that.
Yes, some stories are coming to mind. I think I know what you're...
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got a couple more of our usual things to do. We have some gifts to open yet that were sent to us like around the holidays. I think we have 4 gifts we still have to open, so we're going to do that right now. And we're also going to do a taste test.
Okay.
What do you want to do first? Gifts?
Open stuff? Yeah,
Okay.
let's open stuff.
I'm just going to grab stuff at random.
Okay.
This was sent to us by Adam and Sophie.
Oh,
We love Adam and Sophie.
2 of our favorite people.
I know what something in there is.
Okay, I'm going to need your
Adam
little
said, it's ironic you said that.
really?
Adam said that this was something that we always talk
wait.
about.
I got this.
She's got this. She don't need my tool.
Boom. Booma. Ooh. Whoa. Is that what this is?
Yes.
Holy
because
moly.
we always talk about never having a scissors to open packages.
I'm dying right now. Hold on. I have to take a picture of this. Yeah, we'll tell you what it is in a second, people. Just chill.
Thank you so much, Adam and Sophie. Yeah, Adam said we always talk about needing one on here, so he's just going to get us one.
It is a Renaissance scissors dagger. And it is like the fanciest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I haven't even
did
opened it
not know what
yet.
it was going to look like, and it looks amazing.
It is like, dang, like ceremonial. Ooh, there's a note.
Like if a serial killer breaks into the house, you could like fend him off with this thing.
Or just mesmerize him.
Or
with its
mesmerize
beauty.
him.
There's like jewels in this thing. Okay, hold on. Kurt and Krista, hopefully you will never struggle to open packages again. This is wishful thinking. Stay strange, Adam and Sophie. Merry Christmas.
Aw, thank you
we
so much,
love
you guys.
Look at this thing, Kurt.
Oh my God.
I feel like this needs to be on display in our hutch.
That looks
over
like
here.
something Indiana Jones would be looking for. It seriously does.
Right? Okay, I'm going to take another picture.
Dudes, this is amazing. Thank you so much, you guys.
I mean, come on. How can I use this to like cut stuff open?
No, I want to carry that around on my belt.
Look at I feel like a beam of light should be shining down on me
And
right
show
now.
you something on a map.
I'm afraid. Like, how do
Let
we
me see
even?
that.
Yeah, I don't even know how to open that, but it's amazing. That is so cool.
This is really pretty.
It is gorgeous.
It looks something you would kill a
Yeah,
vampire.
figuring out how to
like
open
a vampire
this. Yeah,
killer.
Oh, you could totally murder vampires with this. I don't know how to open it though, so I'm a. Oh, did you see that?
Wow, it even pulls out like a dagger.
Wow. But it's also.
This is so
I could give
cool.
myself a crazy haircut with these. Ooh. Wow, amazing.
Thank you so much,
This
guys.
is amazing. I might actually use them to open the next package, but we'll see.
I think we should be okay with these.
Okay. Yeah, these are so beautiful. I just want to put them in the hutch next to the handmade Bigfoot that we finally have displayed. Who gave that to us?
Oh, that was. Oh my God, we got so much Bigfoot stuff in there.
One.
We have so much.
Chris.
Yes, Chris gave that. Chris gave us the one that she made.
Her handmade Bigfoot holding a fish. I finally got him displayed. I tried gluing what broke,
We
but
never named our studio,
oh, we didn't.
but we have a hutch down here
We are
now.
a rinky-dink
we
podcast.
it's not a well-run ship here. It's not a well-oiled machine,
We're
but
sinking at the time.
we have a hutch down here that Jim actually built,
He did. He built it in high school, I think.
and we've got a bunch of Bigfoot stuff in there. So
Yeah.
and yes, Chris made us that awesome Bigfoot sculpture.
So amazing. I'll take a picture of the hutch and I'll
Yes.
post it.
This next one,
Yeah, I don't think I'll have a problem with that.
no, this is from Taryn.
Taryn,
She
okay.
is. I talked to her quite a
This
bit
is
actually.
cute.
She's super sweet. She's the one that lives very close to us.
Very close, yes.
Yep.
Nice. Lakeside Craft Studio.
Yes.
We follow her
Yep.
on Instagram.
Yep.
She had some really cute hats posted
Yes.
on there this morning that I want.
Funny you should say that.
Oh, really? Synchronicity. Ugh. It wouldn't be a show if I weren't grunting as I open a package.
Exactly.
I'm just going from the bottom,
That's what she said.
which is where
I
the
finished
note
The
is.
Office.
Oh, look at there's a googly-eyed bacon and eggs. Come on. Okay. You want to read the note?
Yes.
Okay. That's cute. Don't spill your coffee. I can sort of see what's in here, but I'm not going to look yet.
Kurt and Krista, thank you guys for all you do. I love the podcast. When I listen, I feel like I'm just hanging out with my pals.
Oh,
That's
my
awesome.
favorite
Yep.
comment.
You can take what's up. 'Cause she talks about the.
Okay. Oh, look at how cute this is.
Yep.
Come on. I don't know what that is.
Ooh, yes. Okay. Krista, I made a hat for you. Hopefully it will keep you warm. You can wear it when you hunt for Bigfoot.
Or
It's such
right
a cute.
now.
It is such a cute cat.
Oh my
A cute
gosh.
cap.
I love it.
She asked me to. I think she asked me to pick the floofy.
Oh,
the color
really?
of the floofy
Well,
thing.
I have to take a picture now. Okay, keep reading.
That is such a cute hat. Kurt, the mural of flavor. The mural of flavor spice is for you. I told you that I use this on popcorn, and you said you'd like to try it. I think this was on Instagram. It's also super good on chicken. Hope this finds you all well, Taryn. Thank you so much, hon.
By the way, I use this spice and it's amazing.
Yeah, because she posts so
You
much.
probably got it from Penzies.
She posts so much like good-looking food and stuff on Instagram. So I am super excited for this. Thank you so much, Taryn.
Yeah, that stuff is amazing.
This is and Krista looks adorable in her hat.
I'm wearing this the whole show.
So thank you
It's
so much.
happening.
I'm excited
Yes,
to try
thank
this.
you.
I
This
have
is so
popcorn at home.
amazing. And I love these colors. I'm going to take like 100 pictures because look how cute this little poop
Because you're such a
is.
diva.
Yeah, that's me. Super high maintenance diva.
That is such a cute cap.
Okay, I'll stop
I'll stop.
after this 5 pictures. Just kidding.
Start calling you Paris Hilton.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
This is from Logan Denzer,
Oh my gosh.
who Krista and I were talking about before we started recording.
Logan
All good
B.
stuff.
Logan
yes.
B. Her
Yep.
beautiful, those things there on the wall. She did those.
Yes. I didn't know what you were
Cross
pointing
stitch.
at. I thought you were like pointing at the washing machine. I was like, what?
She's in the laundry.
She's in the
room.
laundry.
No, she made those like
Yes.
cross stitch
Yep,
or whatever
yep,
needle
yep.
point. Okay. This is
I love our
exciting.
studio
It's like
down here. I love our
Christmas.
studio down here. I
too.
really do.
And I have a really short commute.
Yeah, I
the-
don't.
the
But it's shorter than
upstairs.
driving to the school
Yeah,
because
it
driving
is.
to the school took longer.
And we thought we were going to be doing a Skype episode today because the
Yes.
4 to 8 inches that we thought were coming this morning are coming tonight. I just saw a hint of what's in here and it's like so cute. Oh my God.
Those are so cute.
They're like little pickle Christmas ornaments. They're, oh my God.
And now that you got me that flannel Christmas tree, I could put this on there.
Yes, you could hang it like right on the
Yep.
top.
Thank you so much, Logan.
Christmas pickle. Look, it comes with like a little thing. I can barely read
Christmas,
this.
the Christmas pickle, a Christmas tradition you'll have year after year. It's about a green pickle for the family to share. The night before Christmas, it's hung in the tree while everyone's sleeping. It's done secretly. And on Christmas morning, when all will arise, the first one to find it will get a surprise. A family tradition for all to share. You'll look for the pickle year after year.
I want to say this is a German thing.
Yes, because
and my
I
mom
have
has
friends
done
that
it
do.
for
Yeah, I have
years.
friends that do, but I feel like other people around the country don't know about
So cute.
the Christmas pickle.
My mom has. It's a shiny pickle. It's like a metal pickle. I gotta take a picture of this because it is beyond
Thank you so much, Logan.
adorable. Come on, I'm gonna take a picture of you with yours too.
We're just blown away that you guys do stuff for us. We really are.
Hold up your pickle, Kurt.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez. Isn't that like a square on bingo?
That sounded like that was a very Wisconsinite. Oh,
geez.
jeez.
Oh, yeah. This pickle is real cute.
Thank you so much, Logan.
Oh, there's a letter. Oh, geez, we're terrible. I know. I said.
No, we're jeezing all over the place.
She's the one who has the insanely perfect handwriting.
She's just awesome. I love Logan.
Am I reading this?
Yes.
Okay.
It is too long for me.
I just saw something and it made me laugh. Okay. Kurt and Krista, first off, when I saw these ornaments, I literally said, holy bleep, out loud. I don't want to mark this explicit. How perfect are they for you guys and the show? And of course, I got one for each of you because they deserve to be on display for you both. Seriously. So cute. Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. From what I hear on the pod, it sounds like everything with Kurt's new job, the move out from the school, and the split from old school media is good.
Wow, she's on top of things.
Yeah, wow.
Might have found our intern.
I think we did find our intern. I can't stop listening to old episodes constantly. Story updates from a year ago. Right now, Krista, I agree that Post Malone looks like he smells. I'm dreading the end of this season, but so excited for you two to have a break on that note. Congratulations on 4 seasons. That's seriously so impressive, and I'm so glad I found the pod and grateful I get to tag along for the ride. I think I already said this to Kurt, but I feel like I'm watching a super bright star whose light hasn't reached Earth yet.
Aww.
And I get to be part of a little group that can already see the star.
That made me a little teary.
Oh my God. That makes no sense. It totally makes sense. But what I'm trying to say is that I'm glad I found the pod before it blows up because I loved getting to know you guys and the strangers. You feel like close friends who are always here for me on bad days and the good. Please never stop doing what you do. We're also appreciative. My purple pen died. Oops. She switched to a green pen. Love you guys. Logan and my puppy Pretzel who loves the sound of your voices.
Oh,
come
thank
on.
you so
We're going to
much,
get
Logan.
all the clemps up in
we
here.
We are. Thank you so much.
That's got to go on the wall. All these little notes are going on our wall because we cherish everything.
We are not going to blow up. We're not.
I just don't see it.
And if by some chance something happened, I mean, I kind of dread, and this is like something that other podcasters would love, but I worry about like somebody famous finding us and being like, you should check out these Strange Session guys, and all of a sudden it'll like, and if that would ever happen, when that would happen, we would create a separate group. We would have an OG, we'd have our OG strangers that you guys would be in.
I agree.
You guys would be the upper echelon of everything.
Yes, agreed.
So thank you so much, Logan. These are awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
Hey,
wow.
we got one more. I'm not sure what this one is.
Or who it's from.
It
looks like a mug. That's like almost the same box we use for mugs. Which I'm not even going to talk about this episode. We'll get to it. Angry Minnow Vintage.
Oh, I remember.
In Eagan, Minnesota.
Yes.
I might have to use Dagger.
But don't Adam and Sophie live in Eagan or near Eagan?
Really?
I thought so.
Well,
because
Adam sent this to me so that I could open packages with it. So damn it.
Because
I'm opening packages with it.
This is probably not podcast talking stuff, but because of the COVID situation, Adam and I were talking. I told you too that we don't know if we want to do our Route 66 trip when half the stuff might be closed.
Yeah.
But Adam and Sophie really want us to come out there because they have like a Bigfoot hunt, like a scheduled Bigfoot hunt and stuff out there in Minnesota.
I sound so Wisconsin right now. Oh, really?
Would you be up for going to Minnesota to see them?
Be. Yes. I just want to see their amazing farm that they have.
No kidding.
I'm jelly when I see pictures of their farm. It's like my dream property. Okay, ready?
Krista's wielding the dagger, and she's got her hat on, so she's all gifted up.
I should hang the pickle from my necklace. Okay. Ooh. I see hats. Oh, I'm going to have to put another hat on. Oh, look at
it's awesome.
There's a Mothman hat and a Yeti hat.
This is awesome. So who got us these?
I don't know. There's no like letter or anything.
Whoever got us the Yeti cap and the Mothman cap. Which one do you want? All right. That was a dumb question.
Have we met?
This is awesome because I can wear this during school.
Oh man, I wish there was a letter, a note, or I'm putting this in here.
I remembered at one time who sent it, and I don't remember, but I love this Mothman hat.
Well, whoever you are, now I have to take this hat off and take a picture with this hat on. So many.
I am going to
wardrobe
wear this during
changes.
school. I will wear this during school.
I'm so excited.
I love
What do
this.
you think?
You look hot like that.
Well, that's not what I was. Well, maybe it is what I'm going for. I don't know. Are you gonna try it on? You have to try it on. Come on, people. How are we so spoiled?
I love this cap. I love that it looks like used.
Yes, me too. It's like a little rough around the edges and.
Kind of like you.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you so much.
But now I'm cold, so I have to put on the.
But I wonder if that's from Adam and
cozy.
Sophie because they live out there. Let us
so
know who
cool.
sent these.
Yeah,
because
we have to give you a proper thank you.
Chris and I think at some point, Chris and I are just going to travel the world and hug people.
That's a threat.
That's a threat. Once COVID's gone, of course.
Yes.
God, thank you guys so much for all of this.
I still. We say it every time. I can't believe anyone would go out of their way to even send us.
We're
an
surprised
email.
people even listen to us, much
Right.
less send us stuff.
Shop for us.
You guys are the best, and
Handwrite letters.
we love you guys from the bottom of our hearts.
Hand make hats.
Yes.
Come on. Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, we love you guys. Krista's just like, Krista
don't
doesn't even know what to
know.
say anymore.
I just don't even know.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah. Our
And
tittillating 20 is more like 30.
This is the whole episode
Yeah,
is
the
going to
whole-
be this. So
I mean, we'll have a couple of stories to read. That
yeah,
we'll
so it's
find
going
in
to
the
be
next
probably average episode length.
episode. So that part about Kurt posting in the show notes what time the episode starts was a bit of a lie. 'Cause
Yes, that was a
If
lie.
you made it this far, you might as well just stick it
But
out.
the problem is when we were going to record our next episode, I did not realize is the weekend I have that 50-hour trivia contest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not available that weekend. So we're like, well, let's just do the 2 episodes today and then release them in our usual pattern. So 2 weeks from now will be the near-death experience episode. But
Yeah.
today we're going to have some stories about near-death experiences. So today is just another one of those conversational shows, but thank the weather gods because it was supposed to snow and it's not going to snow, so I was able to come
Well,
down
it
here
is. It's
because
just
of the
coming
awesome
later.
Brian Young who sent me an amazing microphone.
Yeah,
We can do Skype,
totally.
but I didn't want to do Skype for this one because we had gifts to open and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I'd be like
speaking
trying
of
to
Brian
see what
Young
you're doing.
and their podcast Transatlantic Ramblings with
Yep.
Brian and Lauren, they had me on, and this was one of the highlights of my life.
Was it released?
Not yet. February
okay.
3rd, I
I'm
think
like,
he said
did
it
I
comes
miss
out.
it?
No. But he had me on the show because he knows that I am a hardcore fan of the television show MASH. And he interviewed Loretta Swit, who played Hot Lips. So it was
So cool.
amazing getting to chat with her. It really was.
Talk about a bucket list experience.
Yes.
I just like smacked my face with the
Yep.
microphone. So I,
I
don't know what
realized
that's
doing
like.
that podcast, I interrupt people a lot, and I'm trying to get away from that.
I've gotten used to it.
Like,
It's
thanks.
just a Kurt thing.
It's just Kurt, but I do that a lot, so I need to get away from that. But it was just so amazing. So Brian, thank you. Brian and Lauren, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, it's so cool.
But he sent me like just this awesome microphone. So now it doesn't matter if it snows because Chris and I can do it over Skype.
Yep.
So awesome. Taste test.
Taste test.
Do you want a beverage or do you want a snack? The beverage is like a little energy-ish kind of thing. Neither of these are scary. They're just things I saw at festival when I was shopping. I'm
Let's
like,
do the
oh, I
snack.
want to try this.
Snackos.
I'm excited for the beverage, to be honest with you.
Well, we could do the beverage.
No, you're Miss Snack. We got to do the snack.
Oh, goodness. Ooh. Simply snacking.
Simply snacking dried chicken breast, chicken and
Chicken and
cherries,
cherries.
and barbecue seasoning.
All right.
It's not scary. People love
No.
sending us scary stuff, so
Yeah.
we're going to ease into this season.
I generally like stuff like
So
this,
do I.
though.
But this was something I
Yeah,
saw
take a
shopping at
picture.
festival, and I'm like, I want to try this, so let's try it with Krista.
Let me take a picture of not me. Turn that around. Okay.
Yes, simply snacking. Crafted in our family-owned micro snackery. Dried chicken breast, chicken and cherries with barbecue seasoning.
Snackery.
I want to say it can't be bad, but I've said that in the past, and the stuff ended up bad.
This is true. Didn't we try like fish jerky or something?
Ugh.
Okay, ready?
No more fish stuff.
Yeah.
Please.
You know what's coming. Okay, I gotta do a sniff.
Oh, it smells really
Oh, it
good.
smells really good. I gotta check the nutritional content.
Oh boy.
60 calories for this whole thing.
No,
That's
I
like
went
nothing.
I went almost an entire month, like short 3 days of not eating meat. I went all
amazing.
January. And I'm going to tell you, Boca burgers are good.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to convince yourself it's going to be just like a burger,
It's not.
It's not. But if you accept it for what it is, I've become super addicted to Boca burgers.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
really good.
Boca burgers. But I'm
You
back to
ready?
eating meat now.
Obviously.
Yes. Ready?
Go for it.
Oh, that is really, really
I
good.
think it's really good.
Listen, this is a part of the show where you listen to us chew.
I wasn't sure what the texture was going to be like, but I really like the texture. It's soft, but it has like the texture of jerky.
See, and Corey, my brother, who will be on the show again this season, we got to get him back on, makes his own homemade beef jerky, and this is what it's
Why
like.
haven't we tasted it?
That's a really good question. He usually makes a big batch for me and for Miranda because Miranda
All right,
loves
Corey.
it too.
No, he sends us dead bugs instead. Good to know. This is really good.
I expected more sweetness, which is what I said when I met you too.
You got more sour. I'm like a Sour Patch Kid.
Yep.
It only has 2 grams of sugar, so that probably explains the lack of sweetness. I'm not picking up on cherries.
No, but it's really good.
It's really good.
Holy wow.
Holy cow. We're from Wisconsin. We say stuff like holy cow. Yeah. I'm eating this whole thing. Nom nom. And it's a healthy little
Corey
snack.
and I were actually just talking that we don't like beef jerky that's like leather, like chewing, like gnawing on a piece of leather.
This isn't, though.
No,
It has
but
a
that's
really
why
satisfying
Corey's
chew.
is like this. When Corey makes his, he makes it with a prime rib seasoning. We'll get you some next time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I got my point across.
Yes. You're giving me the
My
dough. You're giving me the
subtle
dough eyes. when-
Passive
Yep.
aggressiveness. The dough eyes. I've got them. I might as well use them.
Good point.
So good. Sorry if you hate the sound of people eating like I do. I can't.
Sometimes I
stand it.
edit a little of it out.
Thank God. Like this is something
Like
I would take
buy
to
this.
work
Yeah. Yep.
and keep in my desk as a healthy snack.
Yeah.
Don't
because
worry,
I'm
we're
not-
almost done.
Now that I'm back at work, I'm not eating too much because I'm nervous.
About being at work.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a mixture of different kids, so it was like getting used to a new group.
I should have taken a picture of what it looked like out of the package.
I can spit it out in my hand. No?
No, I'm gonna pass on that. I'm giving it a 9.
I'm giving it a 9. Corey's beef jerky is the 10. That's the.
I'm only
that's
reducing the
standard.
1 point because I don't taste cherries at
No,
all.
that's why I
It
expected
says
more
cherries.
sweetness.
I
Yeah,
should taste cherries, and I don't. But it's delicious.
that was super good.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, what else do we got to
I
do
feel like
here?
that was super annoying.
I feel like we've never done this before. I have some more emails. Should
I
I read
need some
more?
water. Hold on.
Is this like for hand stuff? Oh, I didn't know if it was like. Well, I thought it was like hand lotion. I didn't know if I didn't want to use it, it ends up being Monistat or something.
Oh my God, no.
Okay.
No, it's lip stuff. Okay. Do you need lotion?
No, I'm good.
I don't think I have anything down here, but
I love
would go
this.
get some
I
for
love
you.
this ad.
I know. They're so cute. I would totally wear that. I'm going to totally wear that. Are you okay with the Mothman one?
Yes.
Okay, good.
That's actually the one I wanted.
Good.
Should I even edit any of that out, or should I just?
I mean, why?
It's a little glimpse of what it's like when the stuff we edit out.
Okay. It's actually, some people have said release an episode with 0 editing so they can hear everything. Because I think that's something that people enjoy is that we don't edit out our mistakes.
Yeah, we don't.
We're human.
We edit out our
make
swear
mistakes.
words.
Yeah.
And our stuff that might get us marked explicit.
Yeah, we have.
Especially since if I have kids, 6th graders
Yes.
listening.
Yes. And I have
Although
coworkers
these
listening.
days they have dropped some knowledge on me
Sure.
about stuff that I didn't know.
6th graders today are much different than they
Yes.
were in our day.
So I want to read a couple sweet emails we've got since the last time we've talked.
Cool. I've probably read them as well, I suppose.
Yeah, because Krista and I share that email account. So
Mm-hmm.
if one of us reads something, it doesn't show up as a new email for the other person. So we always
tell
have to
the other
text the other
person,
person. So, hi, I recently started listening to the podcast, and I have to say I love it. I'm into the supernatural, occult, and conspiracies, so it really runs the gamut of things I like to learn more about. I also love your accents. Thank you. I just finished the exorcism/possession episode, and honestly, the Minnesota accents help it to be less creepy.
Oh, yes, I remember.
But I think Minnesota and Wisconsin, we're Wisconsin
very
accents,
close.
but Minnesota and Wisconsin are very,
very similar.
very similar.
Yeah.
I would love to hear an episode about Mysteries of the Deep. There's a lot of weird stuff going on down there for sure. Thanks for the great podcast and keep it up.
Nice.
And I agree. We did our submerged, unidentified submerged, but there's a lot of weird stuff about the oceans and what's in there. So that's something we're probably going to get to at some point.
Cool.
And that's from Megan. So thank you so much, Megan.
Thanks, Megan.
Another email. Hey, Krista and Kurt, just writing to let you both know you two got me through a tough time in my life. 2 weeks ago, my father passed away slowly. I watched him die, and hearing both of your voices was not only soothing, but kind of like being with family.
Aww.
I know. Was not able to listen for 4 episodes, so I binged it, and it was great. Don't want to bring you down, just know your podcast may help people in strange ways. He's got strange in quotation marks. Keep up the awesome job and always stay strange. Love you both, your stranger, Nick.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nick. And
yeah,
and
so
I know
sorry.
we emailed you back, but we are so sorry. And this is something that we've talked about in a recent episode that we have to remember is that
Yeah, we don't think about these situations.
we don't think about the fact that, you know, they're like Michelle. I've become really good friends with our listener, Michelle, that lives in Arizona. And she was the one that wrote to us about how she was scared to fly and all
yes.
that, and that we were like a companion
Wow.
going on these trips with her. So that's something that we don't think about.
We're like people's, what do they call them? Like an animal that you can take on a plane
Like
with
a
you?
like a not
what
a
is that
comfort
called?
animal.
It's like that, but
Yeah.
that's not what it's called, and I can't think of what it's
This
called,
is gonna
but
drive me nuts now.
that's what we are. It has a specific name.
Therapy animal?
Therapy. We're
Yes.
like a therapy dog.
We are like a therapy dog, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, that's something that we need to remember.
Yeah.
That it's not just, you know, we
Fun
talk
and
about
games.
how we're just a rinky dink and all that, but it matters to people, and that's something that we need to remember.
Yeah, that's an honor.
So Nick, we
For
are
sure.
so sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry about your father, but we're just really glad that we were able to help you in some way.
Yeah. Wow.
So thank you for reaching out to us and letting us know that. This next one is from Ashley. Ashley says, Hey, Krista and Kurt, I love your podcast, and I have been listening to you guys for the last year since this whole pandemic thing started. I found you guys on YouTube in my suggestions list, so I gave it a look, and I loved it. You guys have a great dynamic, and oddly enough, thanks to your show, I have been sleeping better. I play a bunch of your episodes after I get home from my shift at work, and you guys help me relax despite some of the creepy ones. And she also sent us some stories, but we're going to use those when we do a listener stories episode.
Okay.
So, and that's from Ashley. So thank you so much,
Yeah,
Ashley.
thank you.
I love that people listen to us at night. We help people
We
sleep.
sometimes put people
We sometimes
to sleep.
put people to
We're
sleep.
okay with that.
But the thing is that what I don't remember who told me this, but somebody said they love supernatural stuff or creepy stuff, but it can also freak them
Oh,
out.
sure.
But they love that
Give you
we
anxiety.
make it not scary because you and I are just us.
Well,
You
it's
know?
not the tone of our show. We're not trying to be creepy.
No.
We just talk about things that are creepy in
Yeah.
a really normal,
like
relatable
the
way.
podcast that plays spooky music in the
Yeah,
background
yeah,
while
yeah.
we're telling
We
stories.
don't
like
do that.
we don't do that. We're not.
That's a lot
We
of
just
work.
like talking. That's a lot of work too. But I love that about us that people we talk about the stuff that's disturbing, but we're not disturbing.
Right.
You know.
You know, and I can relate to that because I have a couple things that I call my feel good shows. They're TV shows.
Yeah.
Like Gilmore Girls.
Like I have Felicity.
Yes.
Yep.
If I'm having even if I feel a little anxiety over something that's going on, I can put something like that on and I know that I'll kind of get lost in it
Yep.
and I'll feel better. And I love that for people, our podcast is that.
Yeah.
So we're your
Yep.
feel good show. I love that.
Yeah, like people have The Office. People have,
Yeah.
The Office. They have other shows like that. And so I love that some people see us as that.
Yeah. Totally.
So cool.
I never foresaw that happening.
No,
so
I
it's
didn't either.
amazing.
So thank you so much, Ashley.
Yeah.
Another one, and I didn't put this person's name, and I'm really annoyed about that. I think I accidentally edited out. But
Jim's home. Side note, Tuesday is the anniversary of our first date. Because
wow.
we're dorks. We celebrate
serious?
that 24 years ago. Isn't that wild?
Wow. That is wild. That makes me feel old.
Yeah, makes me feel old. I was 20
So-
when we met.
Wow. You're still young. So I forgot to put this person's name in there, but they asked us 2 questions that we are going to use as our listener questions right now too.
Sweet.
So it says, "Hi, Kurt and Krista. Just wanted to thank you again for another great season. I'm already looking forward to the next one. I can't even think which episode was my favorite, but I do love the mini mysteries and the missing 411 stuff, which people seem to really like. Also, the Strange States is a great idea." I'll take the credit for that. That was all my idea. I'll take credit for that one.
You do all the work on the show.
I do
so
not
you
do
can
all the
take
work on the show.
all the credit for
No,
all of it.
Nope. Anyway, just wanted to thank you again for being my in-ear companion when I'm out on walks and like. I love that people listen to us because that's when I listen to podcasts. I've always meant to submit a listener question, but never got around to it. So here's a couple. Number 1, we usually do these at the end of the show, but we're going to do them right here because we're reading the emails.
Yeah.
Number 1, to what extent do you believe in alien life? Do you believe there's life out there in the universe? Do you think it's visited us? Do you think the government knows? I'd be interested to hear what you think. I fully believe that there's life out in the universe somewhere right now, but I'm unsure about it having visited Earth recently. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
That is exactly my...
You've said that for years.
Yes, that I think there's got to be life out there. I mean, to think that there's not other life out there is ridiculous. But whether or not it's close enough to visit us, I don't think so.
I don't know, man. Some of the videos that have been declassified.
Yes, but there's people that believe that those are military
But
things.
military people have caught those videos.
Or it's the other theory that I buy is that aliens aren't from space. It's
They're
like a
from here.
dimensional thing. It's like
Or
a
they're from
dimensional
here.
thing. Or they're from
They've
here.
been here the whole
Yeah.
time.
Like there's
so many
You know, some
theories.
people think that about Bigfoot. That's why Bigfoot bodies are never found. That's why
interdimensional.
Bigfoot can disappear. It's because it's transdimensional.
Mm-hmm.
That it can pop here and then pop away. And some people, I was just reading something where somebody was theorizing that that's how people disappear in missing 411 situations is they walk into the vortex or whatever it is that these Bigfoots come out of. So I totally, it sounds nuts, but I could totally buy the idea that UFOs and aliens are interdimensional and not from some distant planet. Because I just think that it's just too vast.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's mind-boggling
Yeah.
how vast it is. So yes, I believe they exist.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like I guess there's always a possibility that over these how many years all the things that people have seen
Yeah.
are military, but what about abduction cases?
Yes.
Like
Yep.
I don't know. I just feel like there has to be something to it.
Yeah.
I feel it's plausible that they have the technology to come here.
From a distant planet.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
we've talked about the UFO stuff, and that's one that I'm still just kind of completely on the fence about. Like, I don't, there's been a lot of talk about possible disclosure in the near future when, they, like you said, these military
Especially
videos,
lately.
like these military videos. I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
I tend to think they're not from other planets. But I do think there's got to be life on other planets because it scares me to think there's not.
Right. That we're just
it.
all alone.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I would rather have aliens than us
It's
just be
just not
all alone.
plausible.
No. Nope. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Question number 2. That was your answer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Question number 2, slightly different. What are your favorite meals, snacks, or drinks? Is there a Wisconsinian dish you're particularly fond of? And do you like key lime pie? Kidding. I actually, at festival, they have like individual in the freezer, it's slices of key lime pie. And I've been hooked on those lately. So I've been kind of on a key lime pie. It's not as good as Captain
Not as
Coochie's.
Coochie's?
Not as good as Captain Coochie's. But I've been really loving key lime pie. But you go first. Favorite meal, favorite snack, favorite drink.
Okay. Well, this is the first one because they want something very Wisconsin, possibly.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing to eat is pizza. I love pizza.
Yeah.
I make homemade.
Yep.
I have dough that I made last night that rises for 24 hours. It's a new recipe I'm trying. I'm making
You send me
pizza
some
tonight.
magnificent pictures of pizza when
Yeah,
you're
I made
making it.
calzones last week. Like I'm making
Yep.
deep dish. I'm experimenting a little. So pizza is like one of my favorite things in the world. But if we're talking about something Wisconsin, and I don't know that this is Wisconsin or Midwest, but a Friday fish fry is like one of the greatest things
it
around.
It is.
Fresh perch, fried like lake perch.
Yeah.
deep fried with
Yep.
like a side of fries, coleslaw, piece of rye bread. Like that's such a classic thing here. So that's probably it's a tie for my two favorite things. Favorite snack, popcorn. I love popcorn. I could eat popcorn all day, every day.
Yep.
Or raw vegetables. I know that's weird.
That is
I'm a
weird.
vegetable person.
I'm not on board with you there.
I can
You
eat
lost me there.
vegetables 24/7.
I love my vegetables, but not as a snack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I prefer raw veggies over cooked
No.
veggies. Totally.
No.
I need the crunch. And favorite drink, coffee. I love coffee. I
Yep.
can't live without coffee.
Yep.
Espresso. I have like one of those little metal espresso makers for your stovetop, and we have espresso on the weekends. And
Nice.
I'll take coffee in any form. I
Nice.
just love it. Mixed with chocolate makes it even better. Okay.
My favorite food, my favorite meal, we've talked about this, is chicken tikka masala.
Yes.
And that's something that I never would have thought if I wouldn't have been dating Natalie, and Natalie got lost in Green Bay, went to that Indian restaurant,
Right.
dragged me along to the
What
Indian
was the name of it?
Taste of India.
Taste of
Dragged
India.
me along kicking and screaming because I didn't want to try it. And then I tried the chicken tikka masala, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, Kurt
And
doesn't
it's-
like things that are new.
No, and it's still so funny that like everybody I brought up there, that's like my go-to place to bring somebody, and everybody I brought up there loves it. You know,
I love Indian food.
like
in
I remember
general.
I talked about when I took Miranda up there for the first time, and we sat down and we were talking, so we weren't even thinking. We're talking, and then she puts a forkful in her mouth and she's talking, and she's like, "Oh my God," she's like, "This is so good." But I'm with you on pizza too. Like pizza is one of my favorites, but tikka masala, chicken tikka masala is my favorite. My favorite snack. It changes. It really does. Like one week it'll be Fritos, one week it'll be Funyuns.
Funyuns.
I know. One
Takes me
week,
back to high school.
right now I'm kind of on a microwave popcorn kick, which is awesome because I got spice to put on there now.
Oh yeah.
But yes, I'm on a popcorn kick, so mine changes. My favorite snack changes all the time, so I can't really nail that down. But my favorite drink is coffee, black strong coffee, or
I like mine with creamer.
right up there with that is a Coca-Cola from McDonald's. There is something about, it's just weird. Like I was
It's the
thinking,
temperature, right?
I don't know, but I was thinking about that when I had a bad day at school one day or at work, and was just stressed out and frustrated. I go to McDonald's, 2 Filet-O-Fishes and a Coke, and there's something about that Coke.
I feel
from
like we've had
McDonald's.
this conversation.
Yes, but there's something about that is like super comforting to me, and I don't
Yeah.
know what that is. I don't know if that's like a childhood thing.
Could be.
But there is something about Coke from
Food is
McDonald's.
comforting.
Yeah, there is something about Coke from McDonald's that's like my comfort thing, which is weird.
I've heard it's unbelievably good.
Yeah.
And I think I've heard that it's because it's at the specific temperature it needs to be at.
Yeah.
Because those machines.
Well, I've heard that it's because it's shipped a different way because they go through so much
maybe.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's just a
all the
weird, it's like a
preservatives and
weird
sugar.
comfort thing for me is McDonald's Coke.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Cool.
So thank you for the questions.
Yeah.
And
We're shaking things up today.
we are shaking
We're like
things up.
shaking bacon.
With another email. This one says, while everyone's been enjoying their holidays or not, I made the mistake of listening to a Sasquatch podcast, or Sasquatch. I haven't said that in so long I forgot how to say it. Sasquatch podcast to hear some of the info that has Krista convinced. Krista's a hardcore Bigfoot fanatic. With the exception of listening to your surprise Christmas chat episode, I found that massive rabbit hole and fell in head first. Some podcasts or the host were so awful I couldn't listen to more than one episode, but several of the others were well done, so I binged them all while you have been on break. I knew I was in too far when I realized I knew who William Jennings was, or Jennings. Who is that?
I just like a researcher.
Yeah, like a hardcore.
I hope they've been listening to Sasquatch Chronicles because that's
People
one of my
have said that
favorites.
because you recommended that.
He's so great. Wes, the host, is just so humble and
She
nice.
she knows who he is now by name. She said that's not even right. It's all Krista's fault. Come back, and that's from CJR.
I own that.
And then she
proudly.
says, P.S. joking. Without Krista, I wouldn't now know that in October, while my daughter and I were looking at rural land in Kitsap, Kentucky, Washington, we were watched by a Bigfoot. Thanks, Krista.
Love it.
So thank you so much, CJR. Another email. Hi, Krista and Kurt. Greetings from the east coast of Canada. Another Canadian listener. I recently discovered your podcast while on Christmas holidays, and it has become a guilty pleasure. Listening to you guys is like a nice, warm hug, and I love that.
Yeah.
I just seriously love that description. Minus Kurt's stories about his former apartment, of course. My former apartment was crazy haunted. Generally speaking, I'm starting at the beginning of your catalog and working my way forward, so apologies if you've already addressed this in a later episode. Just listening to the John Titor episode. I forgot how to pronounce some of the stuff.
Teeter.
Yeah, it's Teeter. Corey was on that one where we were talking about the supposed time traveler, John Titor. Right around 37 minutes and 20 seconds. Yikes. Maybe he's just 15 years off in his predictions. Let's hope not. Anyways, cheers. And that's from Carrie.
I don't remember what she's
because
referencing,
I
though.
believe that's when he's talking about like a civil war happening. And people, there's like a Reddit group about that people are saying it's almost like his predictions were true, but they were off by like 15 years.
Okay.
Which is kind of creepy when you think about it. But I do want to revisit the John Titor stuff. I'd like to have Corey on again when we talk about John Titor.
Yeah.
I'd like to revisit that and whether or not some of his predictions about what was going to happen panned out or not. So thank you so much, Carrie, for the email. And we got one just last night that was super sweet, and I will read it now. Hey, Kurt and Krista, I have been binging your podcast for the last few weeks at work. I wanted to reach out and let you know how much I enjoy not only your topics, and yes, Kurt, even the ones on days you didn't feel like we're up to snuff. You two have the best dynamic of any podcast duo that I've ever heard. I love when people say that about us. I love the titillating 20, and when you dive right into the most heinous of taste tests. I don't know if I love that.
Nah, that's not my favorite part, but I get why it's entertaining.
We're glad you guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you, and please keep feeling great about what you do. It is loved by so many, myself included. I have never, not once in my whole life, experienced anything paranormal. Even when I have been in creepy places that I may or may not have broken into with my friends. Nothing, not a thing has happened. Maybe the infinite consciousness thinks I need to be sheltered. I live vicariously through your stories of the unexplainable and Krista's love of Bigfoot. I loved Harry and the Hendersons. I hope your break has been wonderful, and I can't wait to hear what you have in store for the new season. My name is Matt Andron, and I hate social media. Good thinking. So I reached out to you through email. Thank you again, guys. And when I can, I will donate something to support you.
Aww.
Take care. Sincerely, paranormally sheltered, Matt.
That's sweet.
That is so sweet. So thank you so much, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's something Krista reminds me of. Sometimes you have to remind me of that not all of our listeners are in the strangers.
Right.
Or on Instagram. There's a lot of people that listen to us that have never reached out to us.
Right.
And that's okay. Because
Yes.
I love the Sofa King podcast, but I've never reached out to them
Totally.
or posted anything in their groups. Even, I
Never
don't
joined
think.
a group.
So we
Yeah.
totally get that, and we appreciate you listening. We
Yeah.
really do. So
And
Matt,
that you would take the
thank you.
time to reach out.
Yes. So
Because
thank
it's
you
so
so much,
easy to
Matt.
do when you're on social media, but to send an email
To actually send
takes
an
a little
email.
extra
Yes.
step.
So Matt, thank you. We really appreciate that. And I love that people say that's one of the strong suits of our podcast is you and I, the way we are together. But the thing is that we are genuinely like
We're
best
really
friends.
good
We
friends.
have been
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
You know, not forever, but for the last how
Feels
many
like
years?
forever.
Yeah. Yeah. So we just have that vibe. I think people just get that. I think that comes across in the way you and I talk.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep.
It's the chemistry.
Yeah, I've spent countless nights in creepy places alone
Yeah.
with Krista. So
It's a bonding
It
experience.
is a bonding
You have to
experience.
also really trust someone to do that.
Yes.
And I trust you with my life.
Oh,
so,
I trust you with my life too.
yeah. I love you, Kurt.
I love you too, Krista. Aw,
Feeling the love today.
yeah. So thank you guys so much. Anything else? Well, we got our stories of the. I'm all discombobulated now.
Because I told you I loved you.
Yes.
Yeah, let's read the.
Did we complain about the weather? Yeah, we
stories.
complained about the snow coming. How was your
You
break?
Talk about how tired you are.
I'm so tired.
Break. Break.
Krista didn't really have
What is
much of a
that?
break.
Yeah, so I don't want to get too deep into it because I feel very fortunate that I have a job, that I love for a company that is amazing and treats me like a valued person. But I got some extra stuff added to my plate kind of suddenly and ended up. I was supposed to have off for 2 weeks over the holidays, and I ended up working more like 7 days a week over the holidays.
So you didn't really have much of a break.
No, but it's a labor of love, and the end is in sight. So,
I
but-
hope so.
yeah, I don't know. The holidays were good though.
By the way, next episode, mini mystery.
Ooh,
So
oh,
hopefully you have
shoot.
some time to.
Okay, thanks for the heads up.
Hopefully you have some time to
well, I
research
have a couple
something.
weeks at least. So yeah,
It'll
how are
ju-
your holidays?
It'll just be an episode of Krista reading something off Wikipedia.
I'm just gonna read this whole joke book.
Yeah. Oh God. All bad pickle jokes.
How were your holidays?
They were nice.
Good.
They were really nice. We went all virtual. Now that I'm
For school?
reading aid for I'm basically with 6th graders now.
Mm-hmm.
But we went all virtual, which was nice, but also wasn't nice because I missed I never in a
social
million years
interaction.
like the kids. Like I never would have thought that I would be so attached to these kids as I
Yeah.
am. But I just love them. Like I understand why teachers call them my kids.
Yes.
Because they are
Yeah.
kind of like your kids.
Right.
And
Mr. K.
yeah, like
I
I told you I had one of my students, 'cause I told them in class, I said, I'm up at 3:30 every day, whether I want to be or not. Then over Christmas break, all of a sudden at 3:30 in the morning, my Google message thing beeped. And I'm like, who if from school is messaging me? And it was one of my students. It was Bella. Bella's like, hey, Mr. K, I just wanted to see if you're up or if you lied to us. And I'm like, no, I'm up.
He's up.
Why are you up? And she's like, I didn't go to bed yet. And then she messaged me again at 5
my
a.m. I
gosh.
didn't go to bed yet.
Oh.
I just don't remember doing stuff like that when I was
Not
in
when I
6th
was
grade.
in no, not even in high school.
Yeah.
Early 20s, yes, I remember coming home when the sun was coming up, but those days are long gone.
But we went all virtual, and I miss seeing the kids, but there was something so nice about shuffling from my bed to the kitchen table and then to my couch for the day. And there's also something horrible about that because I was getting so out of shape and constantly tired because I was not doing any sort of exercise at all.
Just
It's
not leaving
cold
the
and miserable
house
out. No, there were days
has an
where for
impact
4
on you.
days that I did not leave my apartment. I made myself go check our P.O. box to see if anybody sent anything. Because it was just like, oh my God, I have not left my apartment in 5 days. So it's just it was crazy. Now we're back, and now I'm super stressed because it's weird being back, and like I'm putting on 10,000 steps a day, and that's after just shuffling to my kitchen table. So things
You're
have
like
been
sore now.
So things have been. I'm my ankle is good though. I'm
That's good.
walking without
Finally.
a limp. Yeah.
You really damaged
And
your ankle.
I did, and I
For it
got
to take that long?
I got such nice messages from listeners. So
Yeah.
you guys are the best. I mean, I really love you guys. They were all worried about that and the fact that I could have died if the berm of my cap wouldn't have deflected my head from the rock.
Again, thank you, Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
It's not the hat you're wearing, right?
No.
It was a different
It was a
Brewers
different one.
hat. Okay.
Yeah. But other than that, it was like I'm not a Christmassy person. We've talked about that I'm not like a Christmassy person, but it was nice. It really was. I'm happy to be back doing the podcast. I was starting to get the itch where I'm like,
Yeah,
I
me
want to
too.
kind of do this. I wanted to spend more time researching and I didn't.
Just like future episodes in general.
like I started what I'm going to be talking about for the mini mystery
but
episode.
a break is meant to be a break.
I know.
So the fact that you didn't
I know.
is what it was intended
I
for.
feel like I didn't really do a great job on the near-death experience stuff, but I always
stop.
feel like I never do a good enough
You
job.
want to read that letter again that you just read?
Yeah, I should read that. But even the ones I don't think are up to snuff.
Right.
So it was nice. It really was a nice break, but I am happy to be back.
I am too, because I feel like I said this to you when you got here today. I feel like we even talked less. Like
We
normally
did.
we text every single day, and we didn't text every
No,
day.
but I also feel like part of the reason I didn't is because I like texting you. You're like one of the first people I text when there's something to tell you, but I'm not leaving my apartment. There was nothing.
Not a whole lot going
I finished
on.
The Office. I finally finished binge watching The Office, which
Nice.
was so good. Oh my God. And I just started watching Psych, and I love the show Psych. That's such a good show. So I
Okay.
started watching that. I need to finish watching Hellier or continue watching
it's
Hellier.
so good.
I know. I
You
think
gotta get to
Jeremy was it
season
Jeremy that
2.
yelled at me and told me I need to get on it.
Are you still on season 1?
Yeah.
Season
I've only seen the
2
first episode.
Oh, yeah. Get
I know.
deeper in, because the first episode
Yeah.
is a little bit slow, like the first few episodes. But by the end of season 1, you're going to be super psyched that there's a season 2.
I think Jeremy yelled at me for that. And
Yeah.
thank you guys for keeping the Strangers Facebook group going while we were gone.
Yeah, wow. Somebody was doing a countdown.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I
to
love the
today.
countdown. I didn't get to the Strangers board as much as I wanted to, but
I was barely
it was
there.
it was a break for me too. But you guys did such a good job, and I'm dreading the day we get somebody in there that's a problem.
Well, they're not going to be in there long.
Nope. Go, Krista's laying the smackdown. Krista's like,
Not that I'd know, because I'm hardly ever there, but
No, you did a good job.
I'm trying. I don't know.
I also didn't want to bug you a lot. Oh, that's why I didn't text a lot either over
don't
your break.
bug me.
No, but you were doing a lot of work and you were kind of stressed, and I
I
didn't
was
want
very
to.
stressed. Yeah.
I didn't want to add to it.
You
So,
would not add to my
well,
stress.
You never know. Should have told you I was leaving the podcast.
Oh my god. Well, show's over then, because I can't do it.
Yeah, you could. You and Jim.
That'd be funny.
We got to get Jim down here again
we should.
for an episode to find
I
out
mean,
what
he
he
could
wants.
come down right now.
I know he's right upstairs. Find out what he would like to talk about, and we can do an
Okay.
episode.
He'll do it.
Yeah,
He'll be game.
he did so good.
I think he would maybe talk about aliens.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not saying he believes.
I feel like we haven't done a lot about
No,
aliens.
we haven't. I think we've just touched on it. So I think if we like dove into like abductions or something like that, I think it's something he would find interesting
Yeah.
at the very least.
And I also
Again,
wanna
not sure he's a
start up-
believer, but
Start up our mini missing 411, where you and I each cover
Mm-hmm.
a missing 411 case. Yeah, and again, you guys submit questions for us to answer at the ends of the episode. We do have a couple saved up that they have sent, so I'm excited about that. You guys always ask such good questions. I feel like there's something we're totally going to talk about that. Oh, we didn't open that.
oh crap. Sugar bugger.
Sugar booger. Should we open that on air?
Do you want to open at the start of the next episode?
Yes.
Do we have anything to open the next episode? Oh, let's save
okay.
it for that. Okay.
I'm going to keep your sugar booger in there because that was
Okay.
cool.
Sugar bugger.
We are going to. We also have the package of the artwork. Oh, what did I say? Artwork? Yeah.
You
We have,
did.
we,
You said it before,
yes.
though.
The artwork from Beth.
Yes, we
that-
just won't
that
show
Beth
you what it
Hovanek
is.
sent to us. So we're just going to open that at the beginning of the next episode and just make sure it's all in there one piece. But like I said, we're going to unveil that in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I want that on a T-shirt, even if it's just for myself,
Yes.
because it is amazing. It is awesome.
Or a hat. It'd be really cool on a hat.
Yep. So Beth,
Merch
again,
store.
thank
It's
you.
happening in 2021.
Thank you again so much, Beth. And thank you so much for listening. Is there anything else we were going to touch on before I started reading some near-death experience stories?
Nope.
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 Okay. That is going to be the topic of our next episode, which will be the official season opener. This is the pre-season opener. That's
The
what we
hors d'oeuvre.
This is the hors
d'oeuvre.
d'oeuvre. So we had the poll up in the Strangers about what they wanted the first episode to be, and near-death
was a big one.
experiences won by a lot, which kind of surprised me. So I am just going to read a couple random ones that I got off of Reddit and elsewhere, and one of my very good personal friends sent me one. So, and I feel like that holds a lot of weight because the
Yes.
Reddit ones, you never know,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
you never know if they're legit or not. But we're just going to read a couple of these, and then we'll get to the one from my personal friend who is also a stranger.
But wants to remain anonymous, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I keep thinking that after this we're done, but we're not because we have a whole nother episode to do. Okay. So this was from Reddit user I Hate Hondas, who's got very strong feelings about Hondas, apparently. They wrote, climbing some rocks in Estes Park. Is it Estes Park, Colorado?
So, sure.
Climbing some rocks in Estes Park, Colorado, I slipped. I slid probably 30 or 40 feet down a sheer rock face and barely saved myself. When it happened, I didn't see any way to stop my fall, so I just accepted that I was going to die since it was a couple hundred feet to the bottom. I always thought it was a cliche, but when you realize you're about to die, your life really does flash before your eyes. You're also extremely relaxed, and time weirdly slows down to a crawl. I'm pretty sure that's what saved me. If I hadn't been so calm and relaxed, I probably wouldn't have been able to catch the ledge that I did to save myself. So that was their experience, and that's
When you fell, did that happen in slow motion? When you
It
yeah.
did. Like I have this weird memory of that, and it was in slow motion because I saw the jagged edge of the rock like
Coming
going
for
towards
you?
my face. I didn't have like
That's
a life
freaky.
review, but we don't really delve too much into the life review stuff in the next episode. But that's always been one of the most fascinating things to me, is that you get this like flash of your entire life.
Yeah, you hear about that. That did not happen to you, COVID.
No.
You brought the Rona to my house,
I didn't bring the
Kurt?
Rona. I did not bring the Rona. No, I mean, I did not have that, but a lot of people do. And it's weird because, you know, like I've read like religious accounts of near-death experiences where they say that God gives you that, and that is not anybody judging you. That's you, for you to judge yourself, for you to judge how your life was.
Take an assessment.
Yeah,
Am
you're
I
taking like a
happy leaving it like this?
self-assessment if
Yeah.
if you think that you lived a good life, which I think is fascinating. But
Yeah,
that's,
it is.
We didn't really get too much into that in the next episode, but I just wanted to put something in here about the life flashing before your eyes. I'd like to think that I feel like some of my life was wasted. I don't think I was a bad person. You know,
No.
like my review would be mostly good, but I think there was a lot of wasted potential.
Me
with
too.
Me.
Same with me. Yep.
This next one is from Reddit user Almerk, who said, I had a near-death experience in which I was ejected from an automobile. When I regained consciousness, a man came to me and said that everyone survived. The man was there before any paramedics arrived, and the craziest part of it all was that looking at that man gave me the most powerful sensation of deja vu ever. Maybe I hit my head too hard, but it was such an insane experience. It was as if I had met that man before. And that's weird.
That is
There's
weird.
a lot of stories.
Was that guy really there?
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about people saying that somebody,
It's like a guardian
like
angel.
a guardian angel, like somebody saves them from a wreck, and then all of a sudden that, you know, like nobody leaves the scene, but then they're looking for the person and they're gone. Like a guardian angel saves them.
Yeah, you hear enough stories about that you just have to wonder.
Yeah, and that's kind of what this was, where he said that, you know, that he'd seen this man before that is like everybody survived. So stuff like that is cool. Like I really like
Yeah,
stuff like that. I love
do
like
too.
guardian angel stories.
We
But-
had a story that we talked about on an episode where, shoot, what was it? Weren't a bunch of kids saw like angels?
like
and
angels. It
stuff
was
like
the
that?
it was the Missouri. It was like the tornadoes, or
Yes,
or
it was
the
tornadoes or some
yeah.
kind of natural disaster.
Yeah, where they saw like flying creatures and
Yes.
stuff like that. And I
was
just
so
think stuff like
cool.
that is so fascinating. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, you know, they were ejected from the automobile. Maybe they clonked their head super hard and something like
a hallucination
yeah,
or-
and it was like deja. You know, we've talked about deja vu, that it could have been like a weird brain
Mm-hmm.
glitch because they bumped their head.
Right.
But I don't know. I just think that's super.
It's your brain's way of getting you through the
through,
event.
through the event. But I think that's just super interesting. Okay, this one is by Reddit user Vesif, Vecif. It starts off, I was stabbed in the stomach with a fillet knife by my schizophrenic uncle when I was 15 years
Oh
old.
my gosh.
I remember freaking out, lying on the floor hyperventilating while I was bleeding out. I had tried to crawl up from my basement to phone 911, but I was so weak, and every time I moved, I started bleeding harder. I remember passing out and having the sensation like I was leaving a dark room and moving outside into the sun. I stopped panicking, and this feeling of pure contentment settled over me. I was floating over a garden where all of the plants were giving off light, and I could see this huge amorphous, is that how I pronounce that word?
Amorphous?
Amorphous? A huge amorphous shape above me that was made up. That's the kind of
We
stuff
should
that
have like a dictionary.
that's the kind of stuff that the listeners like hearing.
Yep.
Me screw up words. A huge amorphous shape above me that was made up of every color in existence, including colors I had never seen before and that to this day I can't describe. The shape seemed familiar, like I was a part of it, and it was beckoning to me and filling me with pure ecstasy and understanding as I looked at it. Then a man who looked an awful lot like the character Dream from the Sandman comics, and I know who that is. I know what Dream looks like, which I was obsessed with at the time, walked over to me through the garden and told me that I couldn't go home yet, that it wasn't time. I started weeping, but I was filled with a feeling of understanding, like I knew that I had to go back despite not wanting to. The man had tears streaming down his face too, and he took my hand and led me back to my body, which was in an ambulance. My older brother had found me and called 911. 4 years later, I experienced a kind of weak flashback or replay of the feeling I had while looking at the giant shape in the sky while I was on psilocybin mushrooms. It felt like I was intimately connected to every aspect of the universe and that all things that could be known were understood intuitively in that state, like an all-encompassing answer to some divine question, but I couldn't put it into words or symbols of any sort. It was all so obvious in that moment. I felt omniscient and omnipresent, but it was a shadow of the feeling I had during my near-death experience.
I feel like every time you take psychedelics, that's
We're
the
gonna
experience
talk
you're
a
gonna
little bit
have,
about
okay?
psychedelics in the next episode. I didn't have any religion in my upbringing, and I have never been inclined to believe in any sort of organized spirituality, but those two experiences were so vivid and otherworldly that they have convinced me that there are dimensions to existence that are beyond our current ability to grasp in some sort of tangible scientific way. It felt like I had pressed my face up against some sort of veil and looked through a pinhole at something beyond imagining. People have told me that it was all just a simple product of brain chemistry and that there is nothing spooky about my experience, but I honestly have trouble taking them seriously because none of them had experienced anything like it. I challenge anyone to have an experience like this and not come away highly skeptical about our current scientific worldview. There seems to be this undercurrent of feeling among some that we are rapidly approaching a comprehensive and objective view of reality, that science is in its twilight years and we are just tying up some loose ends, but my experience has led me to believe that the cosmos is much more mysterious than anyone but the most original thinkers are giving it credit for. That's written really well, too,
Yeah.
person. But yeah, and we're going to talk about, like, we're going to get a little bit into hallucinogenics and stuff like that in the next episode. But this is very much what a lot of people say a near-death experience is like.
Are you watching that Netflix
No,
series?
because I don't have Netflix anymore because I got Amazon. As soon as I get one, something good pops up on another one.
Of course. A lot of people are watching it on the Strangers
Yes.
page. So
Yep.
I've watched the first few episodes. It's fascinating.
Is it about
So
near-death
fast. Yes.
experiences?
Yes, the first episode
It
is
just annoys me that
amazing.
when I'm researching it, my Netflix runs out, and then that pops up on Netflix.
There are 2 episodes that are about psychics, and they're just sort of like, really?
Yeah.
Like, there's just some stuff that I'm
you didn't
like,
really buy into those?
Yeah, but the first episode where people talked about their experiences were just incredible.
I'll have to get
Gives
Netflix
you the-
again at some
gives
point
you the
when I have some, when I
gooseflesh.
have some money. I'm so broke
Oh,
because of my job.
yeah.
What's
Well, we
next?
got to get that Patreon going, man.
Yep. I got to start my OnlyFans. Okay, this next one, the user deleted their name, so I don't know who it was. This person wrote, my aunt had an experience when she was 18.
You're so Wisconsin.
Why?
Aunt. That's such a regional thing.
Is it?
I've never heard anyone say aunt in my life until I moved to this area. We
Seriously?
say aunt. We say aunt up north
Seriously?
or auntie. I have aunts and aunties
What do people down south? People down south say aunt.
and auntie, but I've never heard anyone say aunt until I moved to
Really?
this very specific area. Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm all self-conscious.
No, don't be. It's cute. It's
My
like,
aunt had
it's
an
like grilling out is frying out around here too.
Yeah, I try not to call it frying out because
Thank
that makes
you.
so little sense.
So weird.
But you take your fryer outside
Right.
on the patio.
It's called grilling out, people.
My aunt had an experience when she was 18. She always suffered from chronic seizures that made her pass out. One day, she had one while no one was around. She was later found by my grandmother. The doctors luckily arrived in time and resuscitated her. She explained that she was in the brightest, most peaceful hallway. She wandered aimlessly through it until she found a massive door closed on one end. She told my grandmother that she tried as hard as she could to open the door. Tapping, slamming, and even kicking it would not allow the door to break free. She looked back and saw the back of the corridor gone, replaced with the emergency room. She was lying on a stretcher while multiple nurses and doctors were frantically working to revive her. She gave up on the door, turned around, and headed towards the surgery room. She inevitably reached the room and re-entered her body. She passed away at the age of 42 about 9 months ago. It was heart failure after multiple seizures. She left behind 2 young daughters and a husband. I'm going to cry.
Aw.
She left behind 2 young daughters and a husband, and we'd like to think that the door is open for her.
What's amazing to me about those stories is how the people who have these experiences are able to tell you about things they would never have been able to tell you. Like
Yeah, and
a
we're going to get
conversation that happened
yes,
in
we
the
are going to get into
hallway.
that. We are going to get into that in the next episode too.
Like it would be impossible for
Yeah.
them to know these things. There
A
has to be
spoiler,
something
a
to
spoiler
it.
for the next episode. Like I don't know where I stand on these. It's just, this one more than anything we've talked about.
You're
I don't know.
conflicted?
I'm conflicted. Like I just don't know.
I think some can be explained like
Yeah.
your synapses are going
Yeah.
off in your brain, and
Yeah.
it's just weird stuff. Is
Don't be giving any
hallucinations.
hints
Sorry,
about.
sorry.
Don't be giving any theories.
Are you curting me right
I'm
now?
curting you an episode ahead of time.
Ooh, I've never been curded like for a future episode. If you're new, Kurt has a tendency to say we'll get to that,
Yeah.
and we call it being curded because I get it every episode.
And I should be happy that you're talking about something ahead of time when I bring it up, but then I'm just like, ooh, I'm going to be talking about that.
Spoiler alert.
Yep. And another one, Reddit user AK Lyric. She wrote, or he wrote, my sister was shot while she was walking her dogs in our small town in Alaska.
Oh, jeez.
The bullet ricocheted around, piercing her bowel in 9 places. Ugh.
Well, that sounds horrible.
Even though we had one of the best doctors in the north at our ER, and the only flight out of town was
Miraculously.
Thank you. Minutes away from the takeoff and held up to fly her to Anchorage. She bled out and died on the operating room table.
Oh my gosh.
She knows because she vividly remembers everything the surgeon said as she lay dying on the table. What she told me later is remarkable. She recalls drifting up and into a very bright light. She was no longer in pain and felt compelled to travel into the brilliance. It led to an amazing river. Seriously, the look on her face when she describes this place helps me realize the radiant, endless joy is not just a possibility, but it's an eventuality. She describes playing in a river that consisted of pure knowledge. Anything she ever wanted to know was right there at her fingertips. As she played in this river, she could sense figures on the distant shore. They were our people, she explained, our family, our animals. Our family, our animals, all waiting patiently for her to finish playing in the river and wade towards them on that shore. Though she was not ready to leave this river, she knew without being told that they would wait patiently and joyfully. But she never made it to the shore. As she was playing, an amazing thing happened. Seriously, people, if you could see the look on her face when she describes this next part, you would laugh from pure joy. A being approached her. She did not know what it was, except to describe it as pure unconditional love. It radiated love. It pulsed love. And all things diminished before the radiance of that. The next part makes me chuckle a bit, even though it seems out of place. She said that it spoke to her and said that she had to go back, even though it wasn't her time. She said, like a little kid, but I don't want to. And when she recounts this experience, she emphasizes that to be in proximity of that being is all there is. She described it as a completion, a peace, a welcoming. To leave was incomprehensible. But to decline was also incomprehensible. She felt infused with a new purpose. Very, very reluctantly, she returned to life. She is amazing. They patched her femoral artery and explained that the graft would eventually give. When that happens, in all probability, she will die within minutes. Living with that over her head should be terrifying, but it's not. To her, it's a promise that she will get to return.
Wow.
She said that life is what we are here to do, she explained. But after that, it's just sweet, benevolent, all-encompassing love. And then she says, with every single breath, my sister is heartbeats away from death, but I have never met anyone who is more alive.
Yeah, you imagine this experience would change you and your
And it
perspective
does.
on life.
That's one of the things that pops up in all of these, is that it makes you like happier, and it makes you realize that we're here to be happy.
And that the end isn't so scary.
No, and a lot of people talk about how that makes them, I don't want to say want to die, but it makes them look forward
Right, they're not afraid of
the
it.
inevitable death. Yep. So those were just some stories that I pulled off of Reddit. There's web pages like devoted to these stories.
Sure.
One thing I would like us to do is to get into more episodes that are just stories that we find, because we don't, I feel like we're talking so much about theories and this and that we don't really delve into like stories, like Bigfoot encounter stories. We want to do that. We want to do like more ghost encounter stories. I'd like to do more near-death experience stories. So that might be something we look at one day. This next one is the one that was sent by my personal friend and who is also a stranger. And I pestered them for this story.
Sometimes it takes a little work.
It does. And they wish to remain anonymous. So it says, and you know who you are. Thank you so much for sending this to me. It says, thank you, Kurt and Krista, for your amazing podcast. I have been a fan since day one. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to another season. You guys help fill the void on my long commute to work. Anyway, Kurt has asked me to share my near-death experience story. Kurt knows me very well and knew me when this happened, but please keep my name anonymous. This is a very personal experience that I haven't shared with too many people. I understand that people have different theories about what happens during near-death experiences, but I know what I experienced, what it meant to me, and how it's completely shaped my life's path. My story took place when I was 17 and a senior in high school. My brother came home from college for the weekend, and my parents were gone at a wedding. It was a beautiful fall Saturday, and my brother and I decided we wanted to grill out and play some catch in the backyard. We realized we needed some music, so he went into the house to grab a radio, and I went into the garage to grab an extension cord to run it out to the backyard. When I went in the garage, I saw that there was an extension cord plugged in, and the other end was hanging up on the wall. It was one of those cords that had a metal box on the end that you plug more cords into. When I grabbed the metal box, there was some sort of short in it. It immediately started electrocuting me.
Oh my God.
I was barefoot at the time, so the current actually was able to run through my body and made a ground. So instead of a quick jolt of electricity and the circuit popping to cut off the flow of electricity, it continuously electrocuted me. The metal box stuck to my side and all my muscles contracted around the box. It was impossible to let go. It was like getting hit in the gut with a cannonball. It completely knocked the wind out of me and I couldn't scream or breathe. This completely knocked me to the ground with my body wrapped around the box, getting continuously electrocuted and not being able to yell or get it off of me. My last conscious thought was thinking about my parents having to bury their son. My mom was battling cancer for the second time in 4 years, and I remember thinking how devastated they would be dealing with that and their son dying. Those were my last thoughts, and I quickly lost consciousness. Ugh.
Thank God at that point, though.
Yeah.
That must have been horrifying.
I cannot imagine that.
No.
I literally can't imagine that. Meanwhile, my brother was in the house, and he says he thought he heard a quick yell from the garage, but he thought I was just being loud and goofy. After a few minutes, he came back outside with the radio and went into the garage to see what was taking me so long. When he walked in, he saw me on the ground getting electrocuted. He quickly grabbed the cord and pulled it out of the outlet. He got shocked himself, and in hindsight, he could have ended up like me as
Totally.
well, but he
Wow.
saved my life. Without him being there, I would not be here today. And I wonder why he didn't get shocked. You know, if he
Well,
grabbed
said
the
he
other...
did.
Yeah, but I wonder why he didn't end up like
He wasn't touching the metal part?
that could be.
I don't know. Fate?
I don't know. After he was able to cut off the current, he rolled me over and my face was blue, my eyes were rolled back, I was not breathing and was unconscious.
Oh, my God.
I can't imagine what that was
That
like
is
for him, too.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
He ran into the house and called 911. We live pretty far out in the country, so it took a while for an ambulance to get there, probably at least 10 minutes. That just floors me that it would take that long. I remember regaining consciousness as the ambulance was pulling into the driveway. I was in shock, and it took me a while to piece together what was going on. I remember being loaded onto the stretcher and looking at my brother and thinking, wow, he looks like crap. He was in shock and pale, too. As I was getting loaded into the ambulance, I smiled and said to him, I guess this means we are not playing catch today. He gave me a big smile back and kind of had a sigh of relief that I was going to be okay. After that, I spent a few days in the intensive care unit, was told by doctors that they were dumbfounded how I survived that whole ordeal, and I learned what a catheter was. Had a crazy scar that looked exactly like 4 3-prong outlets branded on my side, and definitely went through a dark patch in my life when I was told that I couldn't play football for most of my senior year in high school. It seems small now, but that was my life back then. Anyways, most people who know me well know this part of the story. The part I really don't share with most people is what happened in those 10 minutes while I was out. I will do my best to share that with you, even though it happened 22 years ago. It is still a vivid memory, and I think about it often. After my last conscious thought, everything initially went black. However, that quickly changed. I have heard people describe seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. For me, I don't remember a tunnel, but I remember being completely in the light. All I could see was the brightest light you could ever imagine. While I was in this light, I remember having this sensation of flying. I felt like I was flying as fast as possible through this white light. I remember feeling a calm and peace that it's hard to put into words. It was the most comforting and relaxing experience I have ever had in my whole life. As I was soaring in complete serenity through this light, I started to hear something. It sounded like hearing 1,000 voices all at once, but not hearing one specific voice above the hum. It was sort of like walking into a really crowded auditorium and hearing a ton of conversations at once, but not picking up on one voice above the rest. As I was experiencing this, I could slowly hear one voice start to show up above the rest. I couldn't quite make it out, but it was slowly getting louder. It felt like I was now flying towards this voice. The voice slowly was getting louder, closer, or both. Eventually, I could make out what it was saying. It was saying my name. It was quiet at first, and I could barely make it out over the rest of the voices, but it kept getting louder and louder. It seemed like I was flying closer and closer to this voice. Pretty soon I could hear my name really loud. Then it was shouting my name, and then it drowned out all of the other voices, and then it got really loud. I remember the light flashing away for a split second, and then it happened again. The light kept flickering, a little longer each time while hearing my name being screamed in my ear. Eventually I saw a glimpse of my brother. First for a split second, then a little longer. Eventually I realized the voice was his. He was leaning above me screaming my name. I slowly started to regain consciousness, and my eyes stayed open longer and longer. It was about this time that I remember seeing the ambulance and slowly piecing together what has all happened. This experience has had a profound impact on my life, but the strange thing is that it took me years to process. Immediately after this event, I definitely was struggling with depression for a while. I tried to put a good face on and hide it, but my world at the time was crushed by not being able to play my last year of football. During this period in my life, I was also dealing with the loss of 3 different people who were very close to me, all who died young. I think I sort of had survivor's guilt on top of all of that. Why was I saved, but they weren't? After a few rough years, I eventually allowed myself to process what happened to me. Instead of being upset about all the bad things, I realized that I did live and I needed to start acting like that. These moments of calm, serene flying while I was out always comforted me in a strange way that when I would close my eyes, I would remember that fateful day. I still think about it often to this day. I was in my second year of college 3 years later when I felt like I was finally able to use my near-death experience as a source of strength and make positive changes. I realized that we only have so much time on Earth, and I wanted to do something with my life to make a difference and to not worry about making the most money possible. So I changed my business degree plan and decided to become a teacher. I now have spent the majority of my teaching career working specifically with at-risk teenagers in what has become the most challenging but rewarding thing I have ever done. I know this is probably a bit cheesy, but my near-death experience completely changed the trajectory of my life. Even though I went through some rough years, I wouldn't change a thing, just maybe the catheter part. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
That's amazing.
I remember you telling me bits and pieces about that, but just thank you. I mean, I know it's not easy to talk about that stuff, but I just think that's such an amazing story.
It is.
And more proof of how an experience like that can change
Absolutely.
your life. So, wow.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yes. Sorry I had to bug you so much for it, but thank you. So, yeah, there are a couple near-death experience stories for you.
I'm glad I don't have one to share, but it's so fascinating.
It is. And I don't know. I don't want one.
No.
But I can understand how like my anxiety might be gone if I had one, because I would realize that there's more than just the piddly stuff
little
I'm worrying
things you
about.
worry about.
Yep. So there you go.
Wow. It's a great preview of what's to
It is a
come.
great
because
preview of the
I'm
next
really
episode.
looking forward to that
Yep.
episode now.
And sorry you guys got to wait 2 weeks for that, because Krista and I are going to do it right now. So sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
My fault for the trivia contest. I think we want to do a tarot reading. We want to
Sure.
close out with a tarot reading
And a joke.
and a pickle joke.
And a pickle joke. Or, well, we'll do a pickle joke and a laugh out loud joke
Okay.
from, is it Eli? Is his name Eli?
Yes, I think that
Okay.
was, because it was wasn't that in my
Brad's-
book?
Brad's
Yeah,
little
wasn't
guy.
that in my?
Yeah. What are we asking, Kurt?
You decide.
Oh, sugar.
Did we already ask how this season's going to go?
Yeah, we did. And it
Okay.
was a good answer.
Oh,
We
yeah,
got a
it
really
was.
good answer.
We're not off to a really good start. Just kidding. It was okay.
Let's see.
Chris and I just looking at each other.
I don't know. Let's just what should Kurt and I keep in mind just until we get together next?
Yes.
I don't know.
Yep. No, that's good.
Sometimes just asking an
Because it's not going to be a little while. It's going to be a while before we
Yeah.
get together again.
Yep.
I feel like I don't even know you anymore.
Yeah, right. I got a new book. I got a new deck as well, but I still feel more connected to this one.
Madame Krista is all about the tarot.
Well, I don't know about that, but delving into some new interests. It's so sweet. Jim is so supportive of all the weird stuff I'm into.
Jim's awesome.
I get presents that are like about what I'm into, and instead of thinking I'm weird, he supports it.
We
It's
love
really
you, Jim.
sweet.
If you're ever listening to this, we love you.
He only listens to the one that I make him listen to when we're in the car. Okay, so this is the Four of Wands.
Okay.
And I feel like by now I should just know these, but, I'm not someone who's going to sit and study. I'm going to learn it by doing
Yeah.
it. And I admit I haven't done I haven't worked with the tarot as much during the break. Clearly, I can't do two things at once. So this new book I got, I found myself always going online because the book that came with this deck, very limited in the definition of what card you were pulling. And so I went online and I would Google the card that I pulled, and this Biddy Tarot would always come up. And such good information. I thought, I'm just going to buy, she has a book, I'm going to buy it, and then I'll have it as a reference. Good Lord, where are the wands? Here we are. Okay. Four of Wands. And I believe I pulled it reversed. So that's something that you should pay attention to, is if the card was upright or reversed. Okay, Four of Wands, reversed. I'm just going to kind of... Okay, so it says that reverse can indicate that you are celebrating the achievement of a personal goal. For example, reaching your goal weight, quitting smoking, or doing yoga for 30 days in a row. You did do vegetarianism for 30 days in a row. You do not feel compelled to proclaim this achievement to others, instead choosing to create your own special reward for the hard work you put in. You may be in the midst of a journey and yet to reach the finish line. And that's why you're kind of holding back on sharing it with people. It can also mean that you've achieved a level of inner harmony and stability. You doubted yourself in the past or struggled with self-acceptance or empathy. The appearance of this card is a welcome sign that you have found a sense of greater balance within yourself. It also has a shadow side. It may point to a lack of harmony or a breakdown in communication in your family or household. Tension might be rumbling between family members or loved ones. I'm not relating to this part at all.
No.
I don't know if you are. The upright Four of Wands reflects stability. The reverse of this card can suggest that you're going through an upheaval during which you have little stability and security. I would not say that's me either. I think this is more about you.
I was just going to say
Yeah.
that because some of that kind of pertains to me.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But you did mention it on the podcast, so you are willing to share it with people.
Yeah.
But awesome.
I think that does pertain a lot to me.
Yeah. And your whole month of vegetarianism was a worthwhile experience. So
It was. Upheaval stuff. It's frustrating because I love my job, but I'm also making such little money there that I'm very concerned about
finances.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
especially not working this summer.
Yeah, that's going to be hard.
You
Time
have
off will be nice.
You have no idea. So my money situation is bleak.
I suppose you could look for something part-time.
My OnlyFans probably won't bring in too much.
Maybe we'll have a merch store up by then. We do have money in our PayPal. From
Our money
the
should go
mugs.
towards the
I know.
podcast, not my sad life. So, pickle joke.
Pickle joke. Okay, how can you change a pickle into another vegetable?
How?
Do you you toss it in the air and it comes down squash? I get where they're going with that,
That is
but
cute.
it's just
That's a dad joke.
it is a dad joke. What do you call bobbing for pickles?
What?
A barrel of fun.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna read one of the laugh out loud jokes too, but I haven't been good about keeping our place. What does a snowman eat for breakfast?
What?
Frosted flakes.
Uh,
I'm gonna put
Put
a
a
little
bookmark.
marker
Okay.
in here, and it's going to be Lakeside Craft Studios business card.
And let's end with our song choice that was
crap.
suggested by a listener last season that I do not remember who it was, but they wanted to make a playlist of songs that we
And
like.
I forgot to even think about it. You go first.
My song.
I feel like I need to look at what have I listened to recently.
That's kind of what I do too. when
I
come
even
up with a
said that
song.
before. Oh, I need to come up with a song. And
My
I-
song that I chose for this one is one of my. I know I say every song is one of my all-time favorite songs, but this one really is. Like,
Me
I
too.
love this song, and it's a twofer because I
Ooh.
love the song, and the singer is one of my crushes. She's been one of my crushes for a long time that I never really mention, that I never really talk about.
Okay.
She has just one of the most gorgeous voices, like, that I listen to, and don't know if this will give you a hint who it is, but her name is Harriet Wheeler. It is the band The Sundays.
Oh, the Sundays. Yes.
And
yes. Okay. I actually know
love,
who you're
love,
talking about.
love the song Here's Where the Story Ends.
Oh, I probably don't know the song, but
Oh, it is just such, like, the first time I heard this song, I was like blown away. It's so early 90s. It starts with this jangly guitar, like this, it sounds like when you hear it, it sounds like a 90s college
so maybe
rock.
I have heard it.
It sounds like a college 90s rock song.
Sure.
The jangly guitar.
They had like a couple of hits,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah. But Here's Where the Story Ends is like one of their hits. And I just loved that song since the very first time I heard it. I'm like, who is this girl? And she's just like a big crush of mine. And I actually over break bought a couple of their CDs or downloaded a couple of their CDs on Amazon because I just really I love her voice. I could listen to her voice all day. So my pick is the song Here's Where the Story Ends from the Sundays.
Okay, my song. I think I've maybe done one Haley Williams song. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if I did or not. I think it was Cinnamon.
I know you did one.
So I'm a huge
Speaking of musical crushes,
Yeah.
she will always be one of my
she
musical.
is my crush.
I know. I would not.
Like,
I'm not stepping in there. I know
love
she is
Haley.
your girl crush. But
I've been a Paramore fan since I don't even know when.
Yeah.
15 years. I don't know.
Yep.
But it's because of Haley Williams.
Yeah.
I love Haley Williams. I think she's so amazing, so talented. She's beautiful. quirky, funny. She's an amazing person. So she recently came out with, in 2020, a solo album, which was mind-blowing to me because she's just always been the face of Paramore.
Yeah. Yep.
And the first song that was released on that album was called Simmer. And it is such an interesting departure. It's so fun to see what she can do when she's doing it for herself and not as part of the band, because this album is amazing. But this song is very intense. It's kind of dark. She's referencing some things that have happened in her life that she's just getting it out there, and she's kind of angry, but also taking control of the situation.
Is it musically like Paramore?
It's a departure. I would say it's a departure from Paramore, but Paramore's more recent albums have been very different from their previous stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Hard Times, I think, was the name of the last album, or maybe that was just one of the main singles that came out. It had a very like 90s feel to it, like a pop feel to it.
Yeah.
This has a mix of like pop and also like some pretty heavy stuff. And Simmer is just like this song that I was like, oh, you go, girl.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll have to listen. I'll have to check that one out.
it's really, the video is really interesting too. And it's really fun seeing her just be free to do what she wants to do. And what's really cool is that the guys from Paramore have produced parts of this album, have directed videos. The guy who played the bass for the most part for Paramore for the last few years is the bassist on all of these songs. So it's they're supporting her.
Yeah.
It's not like she left them behind.
No.
They're very much a part of the project. So I don't know, it's really cool. I love it. And it's a great song. So
But
we'll post these.
Wouldn't you feel like kind of insulted when you're with the band and somebody wants to do a solo thing? Like you're not good enough?
I'm sure NSYNC wasn't thrilled when Justin Timberlake went
That's
solo
true.
because they don't exist now.
That's true.
And he's huge. But you have to look at someone like you. I
Like,
mean, Hayley Williams is the superstar.
I've never really
she is
listened
the
to
group.
much of theirs ever since their first album.
Paramore?
Yeah, like I
Oh.
love their first album. I think I
Yeah.
told you the story
Is that Riot?
I told you the story that I was at my brother's dog sitting or whatever, house sitting while they were gone, and he had Rock Band. So I spent one night down in his basement just blaring Rock Band, and one of the only songs that I could nail a perfect score on the most difficult setting was Crush, Crush, Crush. For some reason, I could just belt
Such a
that song
great
out.
song,
I know, and I
too,
just
and
belted
love
that
that
song
song.
out perfectly. So
I love
cool.
her.
2 good songs.
Yeah. Is that it?
2 musical crushes, too.
Yeah.
I love Hayley. I would love to meet her.
Me too. I'd love to see her live,
Yeah.
even if solo or with Paramore.
Yep.
Either one would make me. I would be tickled.
Awesome. Well, was that okay for a pre-season opener?
I think so. I'm looking at Instagram and I posted this picture of us.
Yep.
The terrible quality picture. I don't know. I just take nothing but crappy pictures. And somebody said, "Love it when your voices match the faces you had envisioned." So this must be a new listener.
That's awesome.
Tylo09. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Luke Monk said, "You guys make me so happy." I love
We had
it.
some nice Facebook messages already too.
Yeah, people are amazing.
I posted this picture on Kendra. Kendra, I think, was the one that was doing the countdown, and she
Oh.
put "Today's the day we've all been waiting for" with a Peanuts GIF, whatever you call it. So I just posted recording as we speak, and there's you flipping.
Aw.
That's you flipping through your tarot book. Oh, that's cute. Yep. That was
You
a
should
live.
share that with me. I'll post it on
that was
Insta.
once I can get out of here and can send you messages.
Yeah. Sorry, my basement apparently is a black hole for.
That's good. Then,
Sending
then the NSA
messages.
isn't monitoring us.
That's true.
Of course they are. They're still monitoring us anyway.
Jim did a voice search on what is a dirty bomb yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, I'm probably
God,
on a list
do not
now."
do that.
I said, "Jim, you asked what a dirty bomb is. You didn't say where can I buy
Yeah.
dirty bomb material."
I was wondering why that white van was parked out on the street
Yeah,
that I passed on
exactly.
my drive here.
I'm like, they heard that question. They're like, "Yeah, he's safe." He doesn't even know what it is. I think that's everything we did. We did the jokes. We did the tarot.
We did the opening. We opened the gifts. We did our
questions,
taste test.
We did our music.
We'll shut it off and then be like, "Oh crap, we forgot
That
this.
major
we
thing
forgot
that we
this major thing." Well, it doesn't matter because we're recording again right now anyway.
Yeah, exactly. We're an hour and 49 minutes in.
That's
so
long.
I know, but it's like a target episode length.
That's like longer than usual. I know. I know.
Wouldn't be an episode if,
There wasn't a reference.
Anyway. Anywho.
Thank you guys so much for listening to us babble.
Yeah, this
and
is just a babble episode.
it's a babble fest.
Yep.
And next episode will be near-death experiences in 2 weeks. So it's so good to be back, and it's so good to have you guys with us for this crazy journey that we're going on, and we don't know where this is going to end. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this.
Agreed.
And
Deets.
I didn't print out the deets
You
page.
didn't print out the deets, and I don't know them off the top of my head. Well, I know our email.
Oh, I did print them out.
Sweet.
Oh, I have a lot for the near-death experience episode. That might be long. We might have to jump into that one right away. Our deets, we are available. We are on the electronic mail at thestrangesessions@gmail.com.
Is that what email stands for?
Yes,
Is electronic mail? Yes.
we are,
Okay.
email us at thestrangesessions@gmail.com. We are on Twitter at Strange Session without the final S. I wonder if that girl still has that account. I should double check. We are on Instagram, where Krista does just like a Emmy Award-winning job. The Strange Sessions on Instagram.
I just posted for the first time in like a month and a half. So.
Now you guys can start sending stuff again, because I get
Yeah.
sad. I've been going there every week and checking, and there's been nothing in there.
And I know
So-
people said they were saving stuff or wanted
yep.
to send stuff.
So send us postcards and snail mail to The Strange Sessions, P.O. Box 434, Manitowoc, Wisconsin, 54221-0434.
and non-perishable taste tests.
And non-perishable taste test. Don't like eat half a candy bar and throw in an envelope to see what we think of it. And you can call our. Thank you guys for calling our phone line.
that was,
Seriously,
that was a treat.
I just always.
I love hearing
always,
their voices.
I always have this picture in my head of a phone in this little shed in Reedsville in the middle of nowhere that never rings, and it's like this
Aw,
weirdest
it's like
image.
the bench in Idaho.
I know. It's like it is like the picnic bench in Idaho, but it's just like the sad image of this phone never ringing. So thank you to the people that did call.
Yes.
You can call our lonely little phone line there in the shed at 920-443-9602.
Boom.
Boom.
It's in the books.
Pre-season show number 1 is in the books. And then I think about how when we did our recap of last season, at the end of the season, the first episode seems so long
Far
in
away.
the past.
Yeah, like we
So
couldn't
it's-
believe that was the topic we talked
It's
about.
weird to think about us thinking about this show at the end of this season. That's like kind of too mind-blowing for this early in the
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
morning, so we won't even think of
I
that.
can't process that
Can't
right
process it either.
now. I haven't had enough coffee.
So we will see you
Should make
guys
some
again, and
coffee.
you're gonna get some coffee maybe in the next
Oh,
episode.
wow.
Spoiler.
You just curted me
I did.
again.
So thank you guys so much for listening, and we will be back in 2 weeks with the near-death experience episode. That's all I got. So until wow, Krista just gave me like whatever.
Disappointing.
That was a disappointed look. So until next time, from Krista and I in our yet unnamed studio in Krista's basement. Until next time,
Stay strange.